I'll just share that I've always felt not Hawaiian enough.
Oh,
ever,
I see what you mean.
but a lot of that is taken away. Like if you can speak Hawaiian. So I'm wondering, like, do you ever feel insecure in that identity? But also I think it gives you a strong voice to be able to say, well, I speak Hawaiian and this is my perspective.
I think it for sure gives anyone agency because there are so many conversations about who's Hawaiian. Obviously, the conversation now is you are Hawaiian enough, period. Like, that's one and done. And I honestly don't like the idea that it gives me agency because I feel like that's even more so fueling the idea that you need to speak Hawaiian to feel secure being Hawaiian. So I think like just me, I've always seen myself as I'm fair skinned than most. And I went to Hawaiian immersion school, but I have an English last name. My last name is Robinson. And so there's a lot of things that I felt like insecure about in being Hawaiian because I went to a Hawaiian immersion school and I went to school with like the Kanoelehua family and they're all very like rooted. And as much as I was rooted, I didn't grow up making lei or I didn't grow up fishing. I didn't do things that were inherently Hawaiian. I really engaged in American media and like entertainment. So I wasn't always thinking about what is something I can do to be more Hawaiian. Or my parents weren't necessarily drilling us on, oh, you need to go work in the mala, be in the this and that.
Right.
Which I think is healthy because they just let us be who we were. As long as at the end of the day you can trace your roots back and you don't lose sight of what it is to be a Native Hawaiian. But I don't think that you need to do X, Y, and Z to qualify, be good enough to be Hawaiian. I'm honestly just sick of the conversation altogether because I think we just put so much pressure. I think just fueling these conversations gives people more pressure to be more Hawaiian or less Hawaiian, whatever it means. The way I see it, as long as you know your mo'oku auhau, that's it. That's just one and done. Because that's how they did it back in the day, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think I need to tell you I can speak Hawaiian to be able to prove that to you that I'm Hawaiian, you know? I don't like to use that as a trump card because I feel like that in turn makes other Hawaiians maybe insecure. Like, I don't speak Hawaiian. I didn't grow up in Hawaii, this and that. Stop putting pressure on it. If you Hawaiian, you Hawaiian. Po.
And I really like that, some people would say that you or Kamaka or your family would have responsibility to be a voice because you can speak Hawaiian. But I like that the both of your rhetoric is similar, where it's like, yeah, and like you're Hawaiian, okay, you're from here, okay. And what? What are you actually contributing to the world? Are you a good person?
Yeah.
Like what kind of stuff do you do? Like there's more to life. And I don't want to get canceled, but a part of me thinks, are we so ceremonial about the idea of what it means to be Hawaiian that we don't innovate on the idea of it? Do you know? And I think it touches different industries because I work in film and that's my dream to produce film. And I think about why don't we have a lot of film that's mainstream in Hawaiian? Like why doesn't PBS put stuff out that is like Olelo Hawaii or things like that? And like I got to work on a show last year that was supposed to all be in Hawaiian, and then the networks were like, you can only have 2 episodes. And we're seeing this emergence of what it could look like in film and the work I do with ICANN. And so I'm just curious because I think the most innovation we've seen has been in fashion. And so it's almost like this breeding ground of where can we push the limit and what's allowed. And it started so many conversations, right? About, well, what are we allowed to do? And so I just think it's very interesting as someone who may not have like a foot in the door or like a really secure voice to be able to speak on things like as a Hawaiian.
No, that's so, I love that you have that perspective of working in film and seeing how we can push the boundaries of having our language in film and just making it normal, you know? I think that's the biggest thing about Hawaiian language and the culture is that it's just not visible to the naked eye of a normal Westerner. In Polynesia, it's in Asia even, they know kind of an idea of Hawaii and Hawaiians, but only me and you, and the people who live in Hawaii, not even everyone in Hawaii, know that there's a beautiful culture and language. And I've seen it because I really love film too. I'm not in the industry as you are, but I've seen how progressively we've been seeing like Tagalog being used in film and TV a lot more, which I think is amazing because back when I was growing up, all the Filipinos in film were classified as Mexican or Hispanic. It wasn't even, there was no, it was like an erasure of Filipinos in film. And now we're embracing a lot more of these different races and cultures. So like, why not us? But to circle back on what you're saying with that, I guess the me and my brother kind of being so what about it. It's not necessarily that I'm like that just because I'm like that. I think when I was younger and when I was going to a predominantly white university, I was fighting for my life. I would be in class just like ranting, crying, just kind of making it a spectacle of, I don't know. I don't want to say a spectacle because I think my feelings were valid at the time. I was really frustrated that no one knew about Hawaiian language. No one knew about our history, but everyone loved to go to luau. Everyone loved to see the Hawaiian performances. They loved to come to our Pacific Islander meetings to eat our food, but did nothing to contribute to, I guess, learning about it. So that was really frustrating. But I think as time went on, I realized that that wasn't a healthy place for me to be in. And I felt like it was justified at the time because I was doing something for my race. Like, I'm passionate about this. I'm furthering the Native Hawaiians because I'm a voice. But at the end of the day, it wasn't making me happy. It was making me miserable. And it was making me a miserable person. I was always fighting with people. I was really mean. I was really not accepting and judgmental. And that's not the type of person I want to be at the end of the day. I want to be someone who's kind and empathetic and loving, and I couldn't do that the way I was projecting onto others. So I took a step back from that. Doesn't mean that I'm not passionate or don't care about our issues. It's just I view it differently and I walk in it differently. And my boyfriend honestly has inspired me so much because he's 90% Hawaiian. Not that blood quantum matters either because that's a whole other conversation we don't have to get into.
That's so rare.
It is really rare. And he's this Hawaiian, lived on homestead, his family, like they're so sure of themselves and they're not insecure about being Hawaiian because they just know they're Hawaiian. And so when I saw the way that he was living his life, like no one can tell me nothing because literally I'm Hawaiian. I'm like, yeah, period. I should do that too. Like, why am I so concerned about being Hawaiian when the real Hawaiians, this is like a perfect example. Like, we don't need to put all this pressure on it. We can just live our best happy lives and live in our truth and, I don't know, just be Hawaiian. You don't have to do anything. Oh, just saying that, I already know, like, not everyone's going to agree with me, but I think we just need to stop. Not that we should stop. I think we should give ourselves more grace to just be Hawaiian. And I'm going to leave it at that.